Hi, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Oniara, and I talk everything self mastery, personal development, and just everyday life experiences, and how I take the lessons from those experiences to live a more purposeful and fulfilling life. Today, I wanted to come over here and talk about confidence, how to build confidence. What is confidence? I was taking a course the other day and I heard this, a psychology course, and I heard this term where the professor said that self esteem was I like myself and confident was I believe in myself. And I found that super interesting because I guess I had never really looked at it in that way. When I hear these things in my life and when I have these like conversations that make me like reevaluate everything and just like, what is confidence? Am I confident? Can you learn how to be confident? Do you learn how to be confident? Why are some people more confident than others? Asking myself all these questions brought me back to a point in my personal development path where I came across so many girls in my life that were so beautiful, that are so beautiful inside and out. And they were so like low self-esteem and so like not confident about themselves. And I remember when I come across this, it's not that I had never experienced not being confident or being insecure about myself, just more like overall I was a pretty confident and secure person. And again, not that I didn't have my insecurities, not that I don't have my insecurities. We're all humans. We all have our own shit that we don't like and we want to better and wish it was different. And that's just things to work through, self-love, acceptance, all of that stuff. But not to get into all of that. The point is that all this questioning brought me back to that point in my life where I was like, questioning like why are some girls more confident than others, even if I felt like these friends of mine physically looked even like they looked so much better than me, and I didn't understand how they couldn't see their beauty. I didn't understand how they felt insecure about themselves, and I really started exploring this topic. And again, it came back into my mind as I was listening to this course last week. And I remember that when I started questioning the people that I felt were pretty confident and the people that I started noticing were not so confident and or had low self-esteem, right? Because now we're now distinguishing low self-esteem and high self-esteem, and then there's high confidence, low confidence, right? Because they're separate. One is I like myself, the other is I believe in myself. And so I started noticing that a lot of them maybe like themselves and they just didn't really believe in themselves. And again, I had never really even viewed it like that until was just brought up to my awareness this weekend. And I started thinking, how does a person with maybe low self-esteem or low confidence start building up that confidence, start building up that self-esteem, start liking themselves, start believing in themselves? And as I was asking questions and I was examining people's answers, and I came to the conclusion that the only way to like ourselves and the only way to build that confidence, that believe in ourselves, that I like myself, and I would even take it as far as I love myself and I believe in myself. And I believe that comes with our actions and our habits. I think ultimately the goal is just to have a balanced self-esteem and confidence. What I mean by that is like everybody's going to have their doubts about themselves. Everybody's going to have some type of insecurities about themselves, their fears and stuff. And that's okay. And that's normal. And that's super human. And what we want to aim for, or what I would want to aim for, is to always have this sort of strategy that when I am in my low self-esteem and when I am downing myself, maybe imposter syndrome and all of this stuff, I have a strategy set in place to bring myself back up, to bring myself back to a high vibrational state. And like for me as a coach, when I'm doubting myself, I have like an album in my phone with screenshots of my clients' results and feedback, because it reminds me like what I'm capable of doing, what I'm doing here, because we forget, because fear creeps in, because there's doubt, because that is all part of the human experience. How do we build confidence? How do we set the strategies in place to be more confident and to like bring ourselves back to confident or back to a high self-esteem when we're doubting ourselves and all of that? So I'm first going to say, how do you start building your confidence and and self-esteem if you have low self-esteem right now and low confidence. Start giving yourself some goals. Start getting clear on what you want in your life right now, where you're going right now. That can change in the future. That can change as new things come into your life and change your perspective, your views, your desires, all of these things. But right now, what do you want? Right now, getting clear of where do you want to go? And then setting between those goals smaller tasks that you can do to get yourself there. And is the action of getting these tasks done, is the action of doing what you tell yourself you're going to do that starts creating this confidence in yourself. Because the thing is that a lot of this low self-esteem, a lot of this low self-confidence comes from telling ourselves we're going to do something and then not doing it and not following through. And so it's like our subconscious mind starts doubting us and starts not believing in us because it's like, oh yeah, you always say you're gonna do this and you never end up doing it. It starts becoming a pattern and you start losing confidence in yourself. You start not liking yourself. You start having low self-esteem because you want to be better. Your higher self wants you to be better, wants you to see the highest of your potential. And so it doesn't want to accept anything less. And so when you are accepting anything less, life and your higher self will show you, hey, you have to step up. If you're in that moment right now of your life where you have low self-esteem, where you have low confidence, and you know that you have desires and you know that you want to do things, start giving yourself tasks to do to start getting yourself where you want to go and actually getting these tasks done. And as you do this little by little, you start building the confidence. You start believing in yourself again. Something I would invite you to do to build that confidence as well is to get comfortable with yourself. To start mirror work. That's one of my favorite activities. And really it's just standing in front of the mirror. If you can do it like naked without clothes in front of yourself, that would be best. If you can do that right now, that's okay. And then you look yourself in the mirror and you look yourself in the eyes and you see yourself. And you literally just stand there looking in your eyes for a minute or two, whatever feels comfortable at the moment. Really start slow. It's little tiny steps that gets us to the bigger picture. And look yourself in the eyes again for a minute or two and notice what you feel. Notice if there's any discomfort in your body. Notice if there's any discomfort that you're feeling and what your thoughts are crossing by, what you're saying to yourself. This is such a moment to be reflective of yourself, what's going on inside, because that little voice that's talking to you inside of you, that little voice that keeps repeating these things, that is your identity. And so when you take the time to look at this little voice, to notice what is it saying, what is it believing, then you get to become aware, shine a light on the places where you can improve yourself to be better, to feel better, to show up better. That's how you start building confidence. That's how you start building up your self-esteem, showing up for yourself, showing yourself that you're there for yourself, showing yourself that you're doing what you say you're going to do. You know, sometimes we say we're going to do something, but deep inside we know we're never going to do it. And we just said we're going to do it. That's what you want to become aware of. Be honest. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anybody an explanation. So when you mean no, say no. And when you mean yes, say yes. And don't do it for others. Do it for yourself. Do it because when you're saying yes and then you're not going to do it, you're letting not others down but yourself, because that's what you said out loud, whether that's what you were thinking or not. It's out of integrity with yourself. It's not even about how it is for anybody else. It's about you. How are you showing up for yourself? And so now, some strategies to move if you're a person that maybe moves from high self-esteem to low self-esteem, to high confidence to low confidence, right? Because you have doubts, because imposter syndrome, because whatever your reason is, which is completely valid for you. Write a list of what you're good at. Write a list of what you love about yourself. And maybe do this when you're in like the highest of confidence. Like when you're in that point when you're like, I feel like the baddest bitch right now. I know I can do anything. That's when I would say grab that moment and write a list of everything you love about yourself, all the things that you're proud of yourself for, even your accomplishments till now. And I would say even a list of like where you're going or where you want to go. And take a picture of these things, make an album on your photo albums, and save it. Save it there. Reminders. And when you're feeling like that, go to your reminders and remind yourself of the bad bitch that you are. And remind yourself that it's completely normal to have doubt. It's completely normal to have fears come up. It's completely normal to be human. And it might not be like an immediate shift that you just watch these things and you're like, oh my God, yes, I remember I'm a bad bitch. It might not be like that. And it's a stepping stone into stepping again into your highest self. And also just witnessing yourself in those moments of doubt, acknowledging yourself in those moments of doubt, and noticing like, are you trying to change this moment? What is it that you want to change? What is it that this moment is bringing you or showing you? Showing you that you desire. If you know that you don't want this moment, then what is it showing you that you would want? And just those little questions that can really make a difference in our lives and shift where we're going. I hope all of this helped on how to build confidence and self-esteem and how to shift from low confidence or low self-esteem to high self-esteem, higher self-esteem, and higher confidence. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are at whatever time it is. I love you. And remember to comment, like, subscribe, or share.